Hello, I'm Carolyn Herbert for the Finance News Network, and joining me at the 2017 SMSF Summit in Sydney is Associate Director of Urbis Economics, Paul Riga. Paul, welcome.
Thanks, Carolyn. Lovely to be here.
Now, can you tell us about the trends that you see emerging across the residential property space and what's happening in the various major capital cities?
Yeah, look, I guess at a macro level, what we're seeing in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane is that the apartment markets in particular are very much at their, I guess, in their delivery phase. So we're seeing a lot of projects now starting to settle into the market, complete and become tenanted, I guess. And across those markets, we're still seeing, I guess, a level of demand by investors and own occupiers, although it is varying across those cities. Sydney is still, I guess, a very in-demand city from the point of view of the investor market and the own occupiers buying off the plan. Melbourne is seeing, I guess, a few changes there from a finance and administration perspective, and it'll be interesting to see how the level of demand there continues. And Brisbane is very much, I guess, an area that is in the delivery phase, and the number, I guess, and the demand for off-the-plan apartments has really just contracted back now to that local market more than anything else.
Now, the Australian property market is fragmented. You've got, hot sectors like Sydney, Melbourne and Brisbane, Perth, Darwin and Hobart being not so hot. So where do you think the opportunities lie?
Well, look, I think it's more about looking at the general trends and drivers behind each of those capital cities, and looking at it from a macro perspective, looking at it from a micro perspective as well, because there's still opportunities across residential property, even in cities that we're saying aren't quite so hot. But it all comes down to the individual location, individual sub-precinct that these properties are in, and the fundamentals around those.
So what are some of the key fundamentals that investors should be looking out for?
Yeah, look, I guess at a macro level, we're looking at things such as interest rates, level of foreign investment. And then if you drive down into that sort of the sub-market, what we tend to focus on is looking at things such as demographics, infrastructure investment, levels of employment. So those three key drivers are really important when you're looking at the individual sub-market, understanding what sort of demographic market and the population growth that's occurring in an area. Very important, understanding the infrastructure investment and what type, how does it directly affect the area that you're referring to, and then from an employment perspective, where's the job growth coming from? Because those three key factors are going to drive residents to want to be in an area, and also drives the amenity in there as well. So with population and employment coming in, you're then getting cafes, bars, amenity that people want to live in those areas for.
Paul Riga, thanks for joining us.
Excellent, thank you.